full of well, violence, degradation, all the other things that go with it. So the memory that pain is dismissing is a very important part of what Burke is saying. Kenneth Clark, in this, talks about, he prefers human sympathy is more valuable than ideology. The human contract. Kenneth Clark, conservative. Burke, the founder of conservatism. Thomas Paine, arguably the founder, or certainly one of the founders of liberalism. So, I'm arguing with you here that actually what you're doing is very conservative. It's very important. But somebody else did this years ago, and they got hold of a thing that should be conservative. So let's try this on you. What's more important in the countryside? Fields or concrete? What's more important when you look at trees? Having them there or chopping them down? What's more important when you go and buy an old house with proper old fireplaces? Do you rip them out like they used to do in the 70s? They'd rip them out in the 70s and put in radiators. What are you going to do? Are you conservatives? Do you want to conserve the past in the countryside? Do you want to conserve the past? Do you want a lovely old deli down the road? Do you want it knocked down and replaced by a brand new 21st century skills McDonald's? I was in TGI Fridays last night. Can I just say don't? I've never seen anything like it before. I was reading Civilization in TGI Fridays. That was the dichotomy at work, I tell you. The service was unbearable because it was good and efficient. You know, nothing worse than efficient service. And yet in schools we're asked to be efficient. It was overly humane to me. It was to the point. Are you all right? Yes! Are you all right? Yes! Go away. No, are you all right? I kept asking me. To the point that I wouldn't leave a tip. I refused to leave a tip when I'm served that well. I never even knew what they were. I was very surprised actually that they were open on other days as well. I just thought it was just seems a very bizarre thing to do. But are you a conservative? Do you believe in conserving the environment? You do. Anyone here not? Anyone here actually wants to rip it all down?
It depends. It depends on what's needed and where you come from that point of view, because if you have a forest full of trees but you have nowhere to live, or you have people who have nowhere to live, then you have to construct something to create shelter for people.
A utilitarian view coming in.
Yeah.
And do we want that? Well,
you could argue as well that the fields used to be trees.
Yep.
And so those fields that we want to protect are utilitarian in themselves, because we like the fields. They're there for utilitarian needs. They're the concrete from the tree.